Would you care to clarify what we're doing tonight, ma'am?
We are going to try to summarize and read almost all of the SCPs. We're going to try.
And okay, and so for our viewers that are not aware of what the SCP Foundation is, shall we give kind of a summary of them? And also, Luca's coming in with a raid. Thank you, Luca. How's it going tonight, everybody? How y'all doing?
So, originally SCPs were like a creepypasta that was created I don't know how many years ago, and they got extremely popular to the point where they literally have created their own franchise, and now they have this entire website that has just been still making SCPs to this day, and it's called the SCP Foundation, which is Secure, Contain, and Protect. That's what SCP stands for. They also made tons and tons of games.
Yep, tons of games. And they also got their own short stories too, like a shit ton of them. So, yeah. There's like a lot going on. Like honestly, like SCP is so broad, there's no one canon to it. Like it's ridiculous and fucking awesome. But as a brief Cliff Notes version, to kind of go ahead and piggyback off what Panda said, the whole storyline has to deal with a mysterious organization known as the SCP Foundation that goes around the world, has its fingers in all kinds of pies, and essentially captures or secures, contains, and protects things that are referred to as anomalies in order to go ahead and protect normalcy and make everything seem hunky-dory without giving anybody the slightest inkling of hint that there is anything odd or weird or wacky in the world that defies all known logic.
Pretty much.
Yep.
You're gonna learn about some creepy ones in a little bit.
Yes, we are. Okay, before we go ahead and go in, I think that maybe we should go ahead and kind of warrant like just a brief explanation as to how SCP articles work. Is that agreed?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so SCP articles basically follow like a basic format. You have your containment procedures, which is how they list exactly how they contain something. I'm sorry, before that, they have an object class. Now, here's a branch on this. Over the years, there have been so many types of object classes that have been made, but there are three basic ones you need to know about. There's Safe, Euclid, and Keter.
Yes.
Now, basically, Safe means that you can lock it in a box and nothing will happen.
Or you can pick
Euclid
it up, touch
means...
it, or interact with it.
Not always. SCP-35 is something you can't touch.
That's true.
But Euclid is something that it's a little harder to contain, but it's manageable. Keter means that it takes a lot of resources to go ahead and contain. So a general rule of thumb, in accordance with the SCP Wiki's General Writer's Guide, is that if you can lock it in a box, it's probably safe. If you have trouble locking it in a box, it's probably Euclid. If it almost always can't fit in the box, then it's Keter. Now, there's a few other ones that branch off that, like Thaumiel, which is an anomaly that is actually used by the Foundation to help contain other anomalies. And then there's a couple of other ones that have recently come into popularity, like Apollyon, which is something that is so immensely powerful that it cannot be contained at all, or Archon, which is something that theoretically can be contained, but the cost of containing it outweighs the benefits of just letting it run loose. There are a few like that out there. So, anyway, that rant aside, after you get to that, you get to the containment procedures, which is where the document details exactly what they do to go ahead and contain this thing, if anything. After that, you get a description, which is what the anomaly is, and then you have addendums, which is fun little things that almost always end in the deaths of people trying to contain these objects. So, we're about to go ahead and go on a journey.
Oh, there's also one thing. When you guys see D-Class in any of the descriptions, or if they're talking about it, D-Class is the quote-unquote the test subjects, but in reality they're just like people that have been put onto like they have the death sentence and they get sent here instead, and literally they're just forced to deal with all these SCPs. So if you see D-Class, that's what that is.
Yeah. And D-Class, like, the Foundation basically picks up, like, prisoners from all around the world, slaps them in orange jumpsuits, and says, hey, touch this thing. If you die, oh well. If you don't die, congratulations. You've survived for science, basically. There was also, back in the way, way, way early days of the Foundation, a rumor that allegedly they would exterminate every single D class they had every month in order to go ahead and keep them fresh, whatever that means. That
Oh.
theory's since been discredited, but there are some people who try to keep that quote unquote theory alive. It depends on the writer. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
Pander,
true.
where would be a good starting point, man?
Look, I thought we were going to start from the beginning, unless you want to go with the classics, which we would always start with SCP-173, which is like all the way down at the bottom, which is
Okie dokie.
quote-unquote the original one. So...
Yes, it is. The SCP-173 is the de facto... Oh,
Okay,
hey, it even has the
wait,
original next
wait,
to it. Yes.
before we start, there is some of these that can be really disturbing. They do have photos with them, so please be aware that if you're watching this, there's gonna be photos that are kind of disturbing, or there's just gonna be descriptions about something that's not exactly pleasant to hear. So just please be advised that this is going to be part of this.
Yes, thank you, Panda. A lot of the early SCPs deal with a lot of body horror and psychological horror, so there is going to be a lot of very uncomfy material in these. So if we start reading something and you don't quite like it, you may want to go ahead and mute until we're finished, or maybe go off somewhere else, just to throw that out there. But all right, I take it we're starting with 173.
I imagine that's the first one that's ever been appeared, and I think it is the original one.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's at least the oldest one that we know of.
Yeah.
Back in the olden days, before the wiki was created, the SCP articles used to kind of float around random forums, mostly in 4chan, and 173 is like the oldest one that we know of. So
Right.
it's pretty much like the de facto SCP.
Yeah, I don't know which one started it. I know it was SCP-173. I think 049 was also one of the originals, and Shy Guy, I think, were like the three main ones, if I remember.
Oh,
I think
49
it's
was
DC.
one of the original ones? I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I remember when I read them way, way back. Well, it's actually my brother that got me into it. 409 was one of them that was out there, which is
nice.
Plague.
Nice.
So,
Can I share how I got into SCP?
go for it.
All right. So, what actually got me into SCP, weirdly enough, was several years ago. I'm actually a part of, surprise, surprise, part of a group on Facebook that has like a bunch of Lovecraft themed stuff. And one of them had posted a story, or a member of that group had posted a short story about the alleged origins of 106, the old man. And I read it and thought, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. So, one lengthy rabbit hole later, I became a fan of SCP.
Oh my gosh, 173 was the first one I ever read, and my brother gave it to me. But that was way back when he actually had a photo.
Nice. Yeah, back in the olden days before the I mean, to be fair though, I mean, the sculptor he was owed his credit, so they were kind of borrowing that image for a while, so I can kind of see where they're coming from on that. It's a respect type thing.
Yeah. And this is also all free too, this website, and like a lot of the games are too, like SCP Containment Breach is free. That's a good game. That's the original game, I think.
I believe all these are Creative Commons, actually, if I remember correctly. Like, if you do something, you have to go ahead and share, like, who the author is. I believe. Don't quote me on that. Maybe we should err on the side of caution and just, like, mention who the authors are, to give them their due credit and everything.
Oh, you mean for, like the games or the SCPs?
For the SCPs. Like, if we read an SCP, then maybe we should just go ahead and mention...
Where are they? Where would they say that?
Let me see.
Would that be in, like, licensing and whatever?
Licensing and citation? Yes, it would be.
Okay.
Yep, Moto42. This is the author of 173. Okie dokie. Would you prefer to read it, or would I?
You're gonna be reading almost all of these, by far.
Sweet, let's go! Alright. I'm kind of debating on if I want to do like a rip-off Vulcan voice, or if I just want to go ahead and do like my regular voice for it. Yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to do my regular voice.
Yeah,
Alright, so.
Your regular voice is very nice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Your regular voice is awesome too. Your singing voice is top tier. Mwah. Alright, ow. Item number SCP-173. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Item SCP-173 is to be kept in a locked container at all times. When personnel must enter 173's chamber, no fewer than 3 may enter at any time, and the door is to be relocked behind them. At all times, 2 persons must maintain direct eye contact with 173 until all personnel have vacated and relocked the chamber. Description: Moved to Site 19, 1993. Origin is as of yet unknown. It is constructed from concrete and rebar with traces of Krylon brand spray paint. 173 is animate and extremely hostile. The object cannot move while within a direct line of sight. Line of sight must not be broken at any time with 173. Personnel assigned to enter container are instructed to alert one another before blinking. Object is reported to attack by snapping the neck at the base of the skull or by strangulation. In the event of an attack, personnel are to observe Class 4 hazardous object containment procedures. Personnel report sounds of scraping stone originating from within the container when no one is present inside. This is considered normal, and any change in this behavior should be reported to the acting HMCL supervisor on duty. The reddish-brown substance on the floor is a combination of feces and blood. Origin of these materials is unknown. The enclosure must be cleaned on a bi-weekly basis.
Gross.
And just to go ahead and give them credit, SCP-173 was created by Moto42 on the wiki.
Yeah.
So there it is. The one that started it all. A mysterious peanut sculpture that could snap necks.
You guys can look
Back
up
in
the
the olden
image
days.
yourself because we can't show it here because it was taken down. But you guys are welcome to go look up these guys. Just look up SCP-173. You'll see it.
And he's adorable too. He's a little peanut boy.
He also started SCP Containment Breach. He was like the first SCP to ever be put into a game.
Fitting for a king.
Indeed. You know, I think it's
Oh,
a
real
good way
quick.
to start off.
I think so. I mean, we got to start with the OG, right? And also, look at that rating too. My God, 8,000 plus votes. Damn, man.
Let's
Still
add another
popular to this
vote
day.
that. Oh God.
You know what? I'll do it
I'm
too.
not signed
Shit.
in.
I
Dang
got.
it.
Yeah, I haven't signed in on mine either. Fuck it.
I'm
I'm
not
too
signed
lazy.
in on mine either. Oh, I know why I signed out. It's because like what my name is.
Gotcha. I used my regular username when I created mine, but I don't want anybody to see, like, I don't want to accidentally click into the forums and have people look at my lame idea for an SCP that I tried to pitch and it didn't work at all. Like, nobody bought it.
Oh.
To be fair, though, it had a lot of holes in it, so I need to revamp that and refix that.
I
But I'll get
actually
to that
have
in a
4
bit.
SCPs in this. And they were accepted.
Really?
Yeah, I just got hit in the face.
Deserved. I don't know what you did to deserve it, but deserved. Oh, by the way, are you using a VTuber model, by the way?
I am,
That was
yeah. I don't.
Oh, I
I'm
haven't
not
gotten a
gonna use
look-see at
her
it.
that often because, well, she's for me who has ADHD. I keep looking over and staring at her, so I'm not gonna use her when I play games because I'm absolutely gonna get distracted by her. So.
Okay, I'm gonna take a peek real quick. All right, let's take a look-see.
Yeah. So every time.
Aww, she's
Thank
adorable.
you. I have little ears. I also have a tail, but it's can't see it. But
Well, I mean, if it's the waist down, you can't exactly see the tail.
that's true. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. So much is going on right now. Oh, my face. So every time, like, you guys, like, say hot, like, do something like a bit or whatever, Gilbert hits me in the face.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He hit you with his little fans.
Oh yeah, when he dances, yeah, he's gonna keep hitting me. So if you guys, like, do a notification or bits, he'll just hit me in the face with it. I can't do anything about it. I gotta
You're
peek
welcome. I
over
wasted all my points for that.
for the sound.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was 300 bits. 3,000 bits. Who knew?
3,000 bits. Oh, one of my viewers, good old cake-eating dragon, has fallen victim to Wham's judgment on my wheel. So, Cake,
no.
your assignment. You have exactly 10 seconds to provide me 3 SCP numbers. If you are not able to, you will be banned for 300 seconds. Starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it, he got the third one before I could do it. All right, fine. All right, he picked SCP 180, 194, and 256. We're not going to read them, but, you know, I'm glad to see you provided numbers. Thank you very much, sir.
Are we just gonna go random?
Anyway.
Is that what's happening?
He just picked random numbers, yeah, because he doesn't know any SCPs.
Oh,
he just picked random.
I thought we were gonna start, like, you know, from the top and just, like, summarize the ones that aren't really, you know, that interesting, and then just keep going as fast as we can.
Fair enough. I can do that as soon as my fucking computer works with me. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and start out from the top of the list. We are not going to be doing SCP-01.
No.
Just for those of you who don't know, the 01 spot is actually not one article, but a collection of articles. It's basically like the top of the top, the cream of the SCP wiki. So they are very, very, very good stories, but the problem is that they're also very fucking long. There's actually one that one of my favorite YouTubers, the Exploring series, did that took 3 hours to cover and like 5 videos. So no, we can't do that. Not right now. Maybe we could dedicate a separate stream just to that, but it's gonna be maybe just 1, maybe 2 if we can squeeze it, because that's gonna
oh my god.
But anyway, we can go ahead and start from 2 on there. Agreed, Pander?
Yeah.
Okay, so SCP-02. Now, it's been a while since I've actually been back to the older SCPs, so they've changed quite a bit. All right,
Yeah,
so
they updated.
item. They have item SCP-02. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-02 is to remain connected to a suitable power supply at all times to keep it in what appears to be a recharging mode. In case of electrical outage, the emergency barrier between the object and the facility is to be closed and the immediate area evacuated. Once facility power is re-established, alternating bursts of X-ray and ultraviolet light must strobe the area until O2 is reaffixed to the power supply and returned to the charging mode. What if they just shined the ultraviolet light in the chamber one day and they just saw like a humongous splooge stain? Anyway, containment area is to be kept safe at negative air pressure at all times. Teams including a minimum of 2 members are required within 20 meters of SCP-02 or its containment area. Personnel should maintain physical contact with one another at all times to confirm there is another person present, as perception may be dulled, skewed, or influenced by proximity to the object. No personnel below level 3 are permitted within Site-02, or within SCP-02. This requirement may be waived via written authorization from 2 off-site level 4 administrators. Command staff issued such a waiver must be escorted by at least 5 level 3 security personnel for the duration of their contact and must temporarily surrender their rank and security clearance. Following contact, command staff will be escorted at least 5 kilometers from O2 to undergo a 72-hour quarantine and psychological evaluation. If deemed fit for return to duty by psych staff, rank and security clearance may be restored when quarantine expires. Description: SCP-02 resembles a tumorous, fleshy growth with a volume of roughly 60 cubic meters, or 2,000 cubed feet. An iron valve hatch on one side leads to its interior, which appears to be a standard low-rent apartment of modest size. One wall of the room possesses a single window, though no such opening is visible from the exterior. The room contains furniture which, upon close examination, appears to be sculpted bone, woven hair, and various other biological substances produced by the human body. All matter tested thus far show independent or fragmented DNA sequences for each object in the room. Refer to the Mulhausen report, cross-reference a bunch of numbers, for details related to objects discovery. So, everybody got that so far? We got a living room that's literally made of flesh, bone, and other fluids and stuff.
It's a living. That's why it's called the living room.
Yeah, get it? Get it?
Got it, okay. Also, we have a redeem for everyone must drink.
Okay, I shall drink.
Okay.
Continuing on. To date, subject has been responsible for the disappearances of 7 personnel. It is also, in its time at the facility, further furnished itself with 2 lamps, a throw rug, a television, a radio, a beanbag chair, 3 books in an unknown language, 4 children's toys, and a small potted plant. Dude, this actually sounds like a really baller living room. Oh my god. I wish I had that, except for the
Well,
whole flesh part.
yeah, I was gonna say it's out
Unless.
of living flesh and bones, so I don't know
Yeah.
if you really want that.
I mean, it'd be a nice conversation piece. Like, hey, y'all remember Timmy in the neighborhood? Well, guess who got a new lamp today? This
Oh
guy.
my god. What is that one guy that made like all this stuff out of like humans?
Serial killers, typically, Panda.
Well, there was one guy in particular. Anyway, continue.
All right. Tests with a variety of lab animals, including higher primates, have failed to provoke a response in SCP-02. Cadavers, as well, fail to produce any effect. Whatever process the subject uses to convert organic matter into furnishings is apparently only facilitated by the introduction of living humans. And then here we have a following brief of the Mulfhausen report. The following is a brief report detailing the discovery of SCP-02. All right, let me go ahead and do like a Volgan thing where I
Subject was discovered in a small crater in northern Portugal where it struck the Earth from orbit. Encased in a shell of thick rock, the fleshy interior of the object was exposed by impact. A native farmer happened upon the site and reported his findings to the village elder. Subject gained SCP attention when a level 4 agent posted in the area detected a small radioactive anomaly generated by the object. A collection squad of SCP security personnel led by General Mulhausen was immediately dispatched to the area where they quickly secured the subject in a large container and performed initial testing with subjects recruited from the nearby village. 3 men individually sent into the structure subsequently disappeared. Upon discovering this deadly property of the subject, General Mulhausen issued a Level 4A termination order of any witnesses, roughly 1/3 of the village, to secure no outside knowledge of the object and initiated its transport to SCP facility. During preparation for transport, 4 SCP security personnel were inexplicably drawn inside the object, where they too immediately disappeared. Following inspection, it appeared as if the object had grown new furnishings and was immediately... Gary, can we cut that out from the record? Gosh damn it, this is so hard to read. Thank you. Several new furnishings, it was beginning to look like the interior of an apartment room. General Mulhausen immediately ordered the requisition of several Class 3 hazmat suits. Why the fuck is hazmat capitalized in this? Jerry, why is hazmat capitalized in this? It's not special, it's literally a hazmat suit. Cut that too.
No,
For
you
the
gotta
remaining...
scream it. Come on now. That's why it's capitalized. They want to make sure that you know what you're wearing.
Okay, you're correct.
Ordered the requisition of several Class 3 suits for the remaining security team members, who proceeded to lift the container onto a waiting freight ship for transport to the SCP containment facility. Following the termination of General Mulhausen, SCP-02 was resecured by SCP staff and brought into special containment and classified, where it currently resides. Staff with security clearance below Level 3 have been denied access to the SCP-02 container without prior approval from at least 2 Level 4 staff after the Mulhausen incident.
So, let's summarize. Big rock come in from outer space, go into local village. Local village people discover, get eaten by said rock. Suddenly, rock turn into spooky apartment made of flesh. Scary general man come to try to secure it. A whole bunch of unknown shit happens, and then the Foundation goes ahead and secures it and tells people, hey, don't go in there. But people do go in there and get turned into further furnishings. The end. Anything I missed in that, Panda?
No, you're good, but I feel like because they say that more furniture has appeared, I feel like they're sending D-class in there, or the scientists have gone in there.
Let's see. It did say 7 personnel, but it never exactly clarified whether they were D-class or not.
That's true. Well, usually when they say personnel, that usually means, isn't that like the soldiers or whatever?
Yeah, typically people that are employed by the Foundation, so like agents. I doubt they would send an MTF in for like something they've already contained, but probably researchers and stuff like that. Yeah.
This is one of the ones that we don't see ever in any games, because there's just like nothing really about it.
Exactly. Wait, didn't they do like a revamped version of Containment Breach, I want to say, and they included like a whole bunch of new SCPs, like the Tickle Monster. I could have sworn Markiplier played it.
Maybe. I know there's Containment Breach, and then there's another one that's out there. I forgot what it was called.
I know there's a new one that came out. Well, I say new, it was probably like several months ago that they either had a demo for or just had an outright release. And
Unity
it looked
is
really
the other
awesome.
one.
I thought Unity was the engine they made SCP Containment Breach on.
No. There's SCP
Oh.
Unity, SCP Containment Breach, SCP Secret Laboratory, Secret Files, and then there's like a bunch of other games, but they're more focused on that one SCP.
I feel like the Secrets one may be the one I'm thinking of. And apparently Schaefer's saying it's SCP Ultimate Edition, but it doesn't have the living room, though. All right. Shall we do the biological motherboard next, or would you like to take a pick?
So, one of my chats said that they want to read 1609.
1609. Okay, let's take a look-see.
16.
All right.
So, I think that's in the
Go to the second.
Yeah, 16.
Yes, it is.
09.
1609.
The remains of
the
a
remains
chair?
of a chair. I remember this one. Yes, this is one of the ones that oh god, what is it? The Global Occult Coalition, the GOC, ended up fucking up. All right, so brief explanation on that. For those of you who are unaware, in this universe, the Foundation is not the only organization that holds themselves responsible for the containment or elimination of anomalies. There's another one called the Global Occult Coalition, which is basically like the UK of getting rid of anomalous shit. That's basically like a bunch of groups of random, scattered, anomalous organizations that one day banded together and said, hey, let's go ahead and just get rid of all the anomalous shit in Europe. And they all banded together and formed the Global Occult Coalition, or GOC for short. And unlike their Foundation counterparts, the GOC actually wants to get rid of anomalies by destroying them. The Foundation wants to contain them. Lock it in a box. Exactly. Lock it in a box, study it, try to figure it out, if they ever can. The GOC is just like, burn it all alive! So yes, this one is actually one that the GOC ended up scuffing. I remember this. Okay, so, I'll take it.
Go for it.
Item number SCP-1609. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1609 is contained at Storage Site 08 due to the difficulty of transporting it from that location. 1609 is to be contained in a specially designed enclosure at that site, within a flower bed in which a range of aesthetically pleasing flowers and plants are to be cultivated. Lilac. It is to be used as mulch within this flower bed. The flower bed is to be tended regularly, and all visitors to the enclosure must remark on the beauty of the flower bed, with particular emphasis on the quality of the mulch. Don't forget to compliment the petals of the flowers. They're just so beautiful, so vivid, so supple, if anything. I kind of want to lick them. Is that weird? Is that weird to do that? Anyway, SCP-1609 is to be removed from the flower bed at regular intervals so that it may be treated with wood, metal, and fabric preservatives. For personnel are to announce their intentions in the presence of 1609 before attempting to remove it for this purpose. Personnel assigned to 1609 are required to wear plain clothes in order to prevent accidentally triggering a violent response from 1609. No items with motors are allowed within a 200-meter radius of 1609's containment area. No personnel either presently or previously affiliated with the Global Occult Coalition, nor material referencing them, are to be allowed within Storage Site 08. In the event of a violent reaction from 1609, all personnel are to exit the immediate vicinity and a message is to be played over the site's interior speakers informing site staff of the event. Should 1609 be sighted outside of its containment area following a violent reaction, staff are to act in a submissive, non-threatening manner. Be sure to go ahead and strip naked as well, so that way you can make extra sure that you're not a threat to this thing. Formal clothing, such as jackets, lab coats, protective clothing, jumpsuits, and particularly body armor, are to be removed if possible in the case of such an event, and any weapons capable of damaging 1609 are to be immediately discarded. Staff are to ask 1609 to return to containment without attempting to threaten or command it. Should 1609 exit storage site 08, agents are to be immediately dispatched in order to scan the surrounding area for 1609 and, if possible, retrieve it. At present, there exists no way to totally prevent 1609 from breaching containment. Current containment procedures center on encouraging 1609 to remain within its containment area. Description: SCP-1609 is, at the present time, a pile of splinters, wood chippings, furniture nails, and scraps of bleached leather and fabric, weighing in total approximately redacted kilograms. It's something. Why would you redact how much it weighs? That's something that always kills me about the earlier SCPs. They redact like the most arbitrary shit. Anyway, the wooden portions of 1609 are made of oak, and the nails are made of steel. 1609 is capable of teleportation, being capable of moving its entire mass instantaneously between 2 points without any known limit. 1609 usually uses this to bring its constituent parts together when parts of 1609 have been removed from the mass. But 1609 can teleport its entire mass at once, on at least one occasion at a distance of, redacted, kilometers. 1609 is capable of splitting its mass, though it does this rarely. Any amount of material removed from 1609's mass continues to display 1609's properties. 1609 has resisted all attempts to remove it from the confines of Storage Site 08, teleporting back to the site of its own accord. However, it has previously teleported out of Storage Site 08 for brief periods before returning, although this has only happened on a single-digit number that, for some reason, they redacted. Choose a number between 1 through 9.
2.
Since its arrival in Foundation Custody. Thank you, Panda. I'll make that my headcanon now. 1609 appears to be in some way sentient, as research indicates it is able to perceive its environment in a manner that is currently poorly understood, and is able to react to stimuli in an intelligent fashion. Details of 1609's behavior are poorly understood, although it has been ascertained that it will react in self-preservation, and will react aggressively to certain stimuli which it connects with a threat to its existence. Aside from this, 1609 appears to prefer situations in which it is utilized by humans, and will actively seek out situations where it can be put to use if left idle. This is the reason for the Foundation's present use of 1609 as mulch, as this prevents 1609 from becoming idle and attempting to leave Storage Site 8. It is theorized that 1609 is capable of understanding human speech or thought, although this cannot be determined as it does not comply with tests designed to gauge its awareness of such stimuli. When exposed to a number of specific stimuli, 1609 will react violently. During a typical violent reaction from 1609, it will teleport a portion of its mass inside the lungs of nearby personnel, causing immediate and severe lacerations to the interior of the lungs, as well as pulmonary obstruction, which rapidly leads to the victim's death. Holy shit, I forgot that's how it killed people. It literally teleports inside your lungs and suffocates you. That's awesome. Stimuli which can instigate a violent reaction from 1609 include personnel wearing the uniform of, or clothes similar to the uniform of, personnel affiliated with the Global Occult Coalition, utterance of words or phrases used heavily or exclusively by GOC operatives, such as threat entity, while in contact with 1609, any action demonstrating hostility towards 1609, and the sound of a running motor. Violent responses from 1609 are rare. Only, Panda, give me a single-digit number.
2.
Redundant, but okay. Such events have occurred since containment. 1609 reverts to a passive state after such a response if it does not continue to feel threatened. 1609 arrived in Foundation custody on whatever date you want to imagine there, after teleporting into an unused containment cell at Storage Site 08 in its current state. Careful inspection has revealed that 1609 was originally a large chair of varnished oak and bleached leather, carved in the form of a reclining woman in a restful state. 1609 appears to have possessed its anomalous properties in this state, albeit with certain limitations, namely that the object would only teleport when a person within a certain radius, currently unknown, felt the need to sit down or rest without a comfortable seat or chair nearby. At this point, 1609 would teleport to them and remain in place until another person experienced a similar urge. On another date redacted, both Foundation operatives and members of the Global Occult Coalition were made aware of the existence of 1609, which was given the temporary designation of E622. Due to the hard-to-contain nature of 1609 and the possibility of its existence causing a breach of secrecy regarding the existence of supernatural phenomena, a small-scale effort to contain 1609 was launched by GOC forces. It is presently unknown exactly how GOC operatives captured 1609, but it is known that they succeeded in reducing the object into its current form using a wood chipper. Further attempts to destroy 1609 failed, due to its properties and ability to teleport away from sources of danger. Following this event, several members of the Global Occult Coalition died under unusual circumstances that probably involved them getting smothered to death by a fucking chair. Investigation through both official channels and embedded Foundation agents within the GOC has potentially linked 1609 to at least 3 deaths of personnel within the Coalition, although the true number of casualties amassed due to their mishandling of the item is unknown. 1609 then arrived in Foundation custody. It is unknown how 1609 was aware of the existence of the Foundation, although it is theorized that it entered Foundation custody due to a low risk of further damage to itself. Now reading document 1609-1.
1609 represents a perfect example of the flaws inherent in the operating procedure of the GOC and serves as a cautionary tale for any members of the Foundation who disagree with our practices on containing dangerous objects. Prior to the Coalition getting their hands on this, it was perfectly harmless. A chair which teleports to you when you need a seat is normal compared to most of the stuff that we deal with on a regular basis. Like 682. Have you seen it? It's a fucking reptile that wants to kill people. Like every day, and we can't kill it. We literally have to keep it in a vat of acid to neutralize it. I want a chair like this as opposed to that. But anyway, when they put it through a wood chipper, it got hurt, scared, and angry. So it lashed out at them. By trying to, quote, protect the world, unquote, by destroying it, they inadvertently made the situation a whole lot worse. 1609 went from being harmless to deadly in the space of a few minutes because of the GOC, and we had to clean up the mess. Thankfully, 1609 is pretty simple for us to deal with. So long as we don't do anything stupid around it, it won't fight back, and it won't try to leave. Even if it does, it usually comes back. I think I've worked out why. It came to us because it was afraid of the people who had hurt it. That's why it always comes back. It's afraid of the rest of the world now, and it's looking to us for protection. This is why we have special containment procedures instead of special destruction procedures. If you break something, it's broken forever. When you try to destroy an anomaly, you can't take back your mistakes. That's what SCP-1609 has to tell us. This is why we're right and the GOC is wrong, people. Dr. Sievert.
So, TLDR, 1609 was a simple, harmless chair that teleported to people whenever they needed to sit. That's all it was. It lived to please.
It did, yeah.
Then the GOC.
It wasn't
go
like
ahead.
a huge basic, like danger hazard thing. It was just a simple
Exactly.
little chair that someone made, or it created itself just to pleasure and help people who needed just to have a sit.
Exactly. And I mean, the Foundation had difficulty in containing it because it could teleport anywhere it will, but I mean, that was small potatoes, you know?
Yeah.
Now, the GOC saw this thing and they were just like, anomaly, kill! And just put it through a fucking wood chipper. And now it's hostile towards anything that even looks remotely like GOC, but it still wants to help. And that's why the Foundation have it as mulch, because it wants to help the flowers grow. And since it wants to help, that's their way of containing it. So this article, I think, is a very good introduction into the GOC in a way, because it kind of shows how heartless the GOC can be regarding anomalies, because they're just always kill, 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 destroy, 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 destroy. And the Foundation, as cold and as calculating as they are, because I mean, they aren't exactly innocent. They send thousands of people to die a month to go ahead and test out anomalies. But even still, they're just like, dude, don't kill these things. Contain them. Come on now.
Yeah.
Anyway, SCP-1609 was created by Ryogale, if I'm saying that correctly. Ryogale? Rigatoni Hale?
Rigatoni.
It's delicious.
Good.
So easy.
One of my commenters said that they can't understand you when you have your mouth covered.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
What about if I do this? Does this sound better?
I mean, it sounds fine to me, but I don't know what they're hearing.
Okay. You, the person who commented, does this sound better? I'm trying to create ambiance here.
DC! I don't know if DC's still here.
Come on. Answer me!
Oh, hey! No reason to yell at me, sir.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the person to ensure that I am comforting them.
They said yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so
Cake says stop
any
yelling.
takers? How about this? Does this sound better?
Yes.
Thank you. I
Okay.
wasn't asking you, but I'm glad to see that I can please you. Does this sound better to you?
Of course, all the time.
I hope you're wearing headphones right now. That way I could just
No,
go
ma'am.
ahead
You're
and...
on full speakers. My entire household can hear you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Whambamshoobop, and I just want you to know that whenever me and Panda are in the DMs, we always discuss our favorite SCPs.
Kinda, yeah, actually.
Unmute my stream for 1 second. What the fuck? Hi, Ducks. How you doing tonight?
So my favorite SCP is, I have no idea what number it is, but it's the paper dragons.
Oh, fuck. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Where the dragons once flew or something like
Yeah,
that. Dude, that is
I think
so
that's it.
sad.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
god,
one's
that is such
really
a sad
sad.
one.
Yeah, but it's like one of my
There's a...
favorites.
Yeah, I know. That's really good storytelling right there. There's also another one, To Kill a Dragon, that
Oh
I can't remember the
god,
number for it.
I can't
I
finish
can't
that
remember the
one.
number for it. Oh, you seriously can't?
I
Yeah,
have a
it's
hard
hard.
time
It's a hard
finishing it.
read. Yeah, it really is hard. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, any SCP that deals with dragons is always just like an emotional fucking read. It's
Yeah.
so it's so
Or
hard.
the dog that can't die. That one really messes me up too.
Oh, right. That was the service dog that
That keeps coming back.
fuck.
Ah!
That's right. That's right. But like whenever he dies, like his owner dies as well, right?
Yeah,
If I
so
remember correctly.
if he's like paired up with someone, he would just keep coming back and like, well, I don't know if it has gender, so I guess it keeps coming back. And then like it would choose a new person who needs assistance, but as soon as that person dies or it dies before it, then the person dies. I don't know
That's
how long its
right.
lifespan is. I don't remember.
I think it's dependent on the person that it bonds with, and then
Yeah.
like it just gets up and finds another person.
The one I hate
So this one,
was the person who was blind and got hit with a car. That one
which
was
one-
like really messed up, and I couldn't finish that one. I was like, no, you can't just do that. And then the dog died and then came back, and I was like, oh god,
so
I
sad, so
can't. I don't even know what
travesty.
all those stories are because I couldn't finish all of them. I think there's like 12 total, and I only read like 2, and I was like, no more. I can't do this anymore. No more.
That's enough. There's only so many tears I can shed, damn it.
I couldn't do it. Like I think I started crying on the second one, and I don't remember what the second one was. I couldn't do it.
Let's see. I definitely remember the blind man. I think one of them had cancer, didn't they? Like one of them ended up dying of
Oh, I
cancer, and
don't
the dog
know.
also simultaneously died of cancer too.
I didn't read all of them, Wham. I couldn't.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember. Damn it, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So do you have any requests on your side? Because I have 2 on my side.
I believe Andy had one. He wanted to do one in the 1000s. Andy, what was yours? Why are these so sad? Because look,
People
the
hurt.
SCP Foundation has its roots in body horror and cosmic horror and stuff like that, but it's eventually evolved to where the only thing you need for a good SCP is a good story, and it has to maintain an anomaly. That's all you need. It doesn't always have to be some world-ending threat. It doesn't always have to be something that involves lots of gore and body parts being splayed everywhere, or a mysterious document that's been halfway redacted. It just needs a good story and something that defies the laws of physics.
I don't.
1004. That's what he wanted.
1004. Okay.
Factory porn. I don't think we can do this one.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't think so. Hold on,
I'm
let
gonna
me
censor it.
summarize it real quick, or not summarize it, but let me go through it real quick and see if it actually is one that we should
Me
avoid.
too.
Adult
Let's see.
content. This article contains adult content that may be not suitable for all readers. So I don't think so.
Explicit depiction of sexual acts. Yeah, nah, we can't do this one. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
this is
All right,
not
Chief.
one we can read. So.
I'll bookmark that for personal use later on, but no, we
Like,
can't do
God,
this
ma'am.
one. Wham has 3 requests. If he took me seriously, but I don't mind. Hey, I told you to throw out 3 random SCP numbers. I didn't say we'd read them. I just told you to throw me out 3, otherwise you'd be timed out.
Oh, by the way, I don't mind reading a few of them. I'll try my best, but I don't think I'm gonna be perfect.
Okay, sure. You want to take the next one? Whichever one we do?
The next one I have is 2598.
2598. Okay, so
what that one
series
is.
3. Of course, my computer decides to be a butt nugget. There we go.
98, my bad. 2598. Traveling Moth Salesman.
I've heard of that one, but I haven't read it before.
Oh, this is one of the changed ones.
Oh god, the wiki. Wait, I'm sorry, Panda, real quick. If I redeem a poem, will you redeem an SCP like a poem? Nah, Susan. You could just go ahead and throw out your suggestion and we'll read it gratis, free of charge. I'm sorry, Panda. Which one was it again? I got distracted.
It's SCP-2598.
Okay, 2598. Traveling Moth Salesman. All right. Hit me with those dulcet tones, Panda.
So, item SCP-2598. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2598 is to be contained in a standard, I don't know how to pronounce that, containment cell at Site 19. The cell is to be fitted
Insectoid.
with a food supply capable of sustaining SCP-2598 indefinitely, as well as hanging light sources. It's a moth. It's a legit moth. I've never read.
Oh, do you want me to read the? Do you want me to read the citations for it real quick? Help you out a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's see. Placed at the request of SCP-2598. It requested it? Oh shit, this thing is sapient? Alright, anyway, sorry, go on.
I just, like, how big is this little guy? If it's a moth, is it like a strawberry moth? Because those are, like, really big. Or is it like a normal
It doesn't
moth?
look that. It doesn't look that big to me, and like
Oh
scale
wait,
to
it
the
says
light.
it's a large yellow underwing moth. How big is that? Hold on, I want to know.
Look it up for me, because I'm too lazy, please.
I'm looking it up right now.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's actually really cute. Okay, how big is it? Species. Wow, thanks. I really love that it says rank species. Wow, thank you.
It stinks.
Okay, its wingspan is 50 to 60 millimeters. So that's about like... That's actually a pretty big moth. So it's about
Sounds like it, actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty big moth. It has a really cool, like, yellow undertone under its wing.
I'll have to look that up later on. That sounds really interesting. I like moths.
I do. I like them. They're so cute. Okay, so there's a photo of somebody's hand. That's not a hand! There's a hand. I don't know. So it's about, like, maybe about almost as big as your palm. So it's not...
Sounds about right.
It's not that big, but it's, you know, it's pretty big.
Oh, to the people freaking out in chat, by the way, sorry. I have the air horn, but, like, I'm pressing down on it, but I have, like, my palm squeezed up against it, so it's not going full-blown, like, bah, but it's just creating, like, a high-pitched whistle noise. That's what you're hearing, just to throw that out there. All right, anyway, sorry, Panda.
I do not hear that.
I know you don't, because you got noise filter, and they don't.
That's, you know what, that's fair.
So at any time, I could go ahead and just blare this air horn, and you will be saved, but they will not. Just remember that. Remember that. My fate is in y'all's hands. Panda will be rescued, but you all won't.
So will my chat. My chat will be rescued.
That is true, actually. Your chat would be rescued. So, 50-50. All right, where were we?
Light source.
Ah, yes, light.
Light. Personnel who wish to interview SCP-2598 must first complete 20 hours of training in American Morse code. Does it flap its wings? Is that how it communicates? Does it flap its wings? That sounds actually adorable.
20 hours. Read on and let's find out.
I know, this is probably why I shouldn't read, because I'm gonna get so distracted.
No, that's fine. Dude, commentary is awesome. That's like why people come here.
They're coming here for this content. You're gonna make it content.
We're
Okay.
gonna make it work.
Make it work, honey. Okay. SCP-2598 is a large yellow underwing moth. I'm not gonna try to pronounce its scientific name. Wearing a
Noctua pronuba.
wearing a small helmet. Oh my god! This might be like my favorite one. Okay, well,
This is actually surprisingly wholesome.
it's so cute. Apart from, from the ones we just read, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Apart from this and its behavior, no other anomalies, characteristics are discernible.
Discernible.
Close enough. SCP-2598 is able to communicate with humans by colliding their heads into a pattern consistent with American Morse code. So wait, they're hitting their head? Is that why it's wearing a helmet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It looks
my
like
god.
it.
Well, SCP-2598 is apparently is able to hear and understand English. It is only able to communicate a return message in this manner, despite having it offered specially designed automatic translation pads with which it could collide. SCP-2598 has thus far seemed either unable or unwilling to use such device. During conversations, SCP-2598 will
Invariably.
thank you. Attempt to redirect the conversation towards a sales pitch for, specifically, a helmet designed for moths. Oh my god.
This is fucking awesome.
This was so. I don't. How come I've never read this one before? What? Oh my god. The following interview has conducted by Dr. Richards Eds, which is weird. It's the first time I've ever seen like a doctor's name. Who is in that internet discovered SCP-2598 while on location in Reducted. Dr. Eds, whatever, was chosen as a research team leader because of his efforts in containing SCP-98 and his fluency with Morse code. During this interview, Dr. Eads remained seated in SCP-98's containment cell, while SCP-98 communicated to him via preferred method. All replies were translated by Dr. Eads. I'm gonna let you do the honors.
Okay, I was gonna actually propose a bit for this. Do you want to do Dr. Eads and I'll do 2598?
Are you gonna bang your head against the desk?
No, I'm just gonna read it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read it regularly. I don't know Morse code, so I couldn't do that.
I know little Morse code, but not enough to actually translate it.
Me neither, and I don't want to go back to the headbanging days. I don't want to go back to those days. Those were dark days that I can't remember because of all the blunt force trauma.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, let's erase that anyway.
They already are erased. Thank you very much for asking.
Okay. So wait, am I doctor or are you doctor?
You're doctor. I'm 2598.
Got it. Can you hear and understand me all right? SCP-2598.
Yes, hello, doctor. I can hear you just fine thanks to the sound amplifying technology of Mothhelm.
Excellent. Now, SCP-2598, could you tell me anything about where you originated from?
I was once like you, doctor, and like everyone else out there with no purpose in my life until I discovered the beauty of Mothhelm, also safe for children, no chance of getting stuck in throats.
Oh my god. I see. So you're saying that you're unable to comprehend spoken language or communicate as you can now before you can communicate as you can now before you came into the possession of the helmet?
It was like a door being opened before me, doctor, and I could see the light. It was all possible because of Mothhelm, which you yourself can own today for as little as 3 easy payments of $19.99.
You are aware, of course, that I could not possibly wear such a helmet. It is far too small.
SCP-2598 pauses for 20 seconds, is observed spinning counterclockwise around its containment cell light. Yes, but perhaps you have some moth friends who could benefit from the transcendent power of Mothhelm, also as a great stocking stuffer.
Well, it's close to the holidays. Gotta have that moth helmet.
Gotta have that moth helmet, that way your moth friends can communicate.
Oh my
Wham, you
goodness.
almost sounded like Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh my
Wait, I almost
God.
sounded like Double D from Ed, Ed and Eddie? What? No, I sounded like Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Double D is like the smart one.
Yeah, Double D's the smart one.
Oh my God, I
Not Eddie.
absolutely am in love
I,
with SCP-2598.
I know, right? It's so fucking adorable,
Oh my
dude.
God. I just can't
All
believe
right, so
I think I've skipped over this one. I don't know.
yeah, I must have skipped over it too. Like honestly, I started like initially reading them all in order. I think I made it roughly about through series 1 up to the 1000s, but then eventually I started getting more and more entranced by the new ones and just kind of started reading those instead. That was around like the time when I think the 5000s had just come out or they were just like in the process of getting finished and they were about to move on to the 6000s. So yeah, it's been a minute.
I don't
Um
know where I stopped.
Also, I had Unknown Cheer 1 bit to read SCP-884. Would you like that?
Go for it. He's also requested another one, but we can do that one first.
Okay, doke. All right, let's see.
Wait,
Go
what
to
was
series
it?
1. 884.
884?
Yes, 884.
Okay.
All
Oh, I
right,
gotta add it. Oh wait, I can't. Okay, hold on.
the name's gonna be a shaving mirror.
Oh, I know
I've
this
read
one.
this one before.
Yeah, I read this
Yeah.
one too. Hold on, let me get there.
Okay, okay, let me know when you're ready.
All the way down. Eight,
All the way down.
eight. There we go. All right. Oh my gosh.
Urgency
I don't
defector.
remember this much of a like crossed out lines before, but all right.
Yeah, seriously. I don't remember this much redaction on this either. It does say SCP-884 Original Collection, so this must be like
We did say who created. Oh no.
Oh shit, we didn't. Fuck. Back,
It's. Why
back,
did this open? Get over.
back, back. Give the people their credit. Back. Back, damn you. Okay, there we go.
It was
And
absolutely. I
the
love.
creator.
Thank you, DC, for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate 2598.
It was
Absolutely.
DJ Cactus. Oh my god, yes.
Oh my
Okay, so
God! No wonder.
yeah, DJ Cactus, for those of you who are unaware, not in the know about the SCP Wiki, he's like one of the most popular authors throughout the entire wiki. He's made like so many bangers. It's absolutely fucking great. But anyway, yes, this one was made by the infamous DJ Cactus, whom I'm sure will be reading some other of his stories as well. All right,
Probably.
so I had, let's see. Do you want to do the original one, like part of the original collection, or do we want to do the newer one?
Of what? 884?
Mm-hmm.
How do you what? How do you get there?
The hyperlink that says SCP-884 Original Collection.
The fuck?
Other notable examples include Alias the Razor, which was stolen by the Chaos Insurgency. Oh shit, this has to do with the Chaos Insurgency. Interesting. During their split with the Foundation, and Alias the Comb, which was neutralized following incident.
Hold
For
on.
additional information on remaining objects classified, please see file 884 Original Collection. I
Where do
think
you
this entire thing was part of a shaving kit.
where do you see this?
It's in the first paragraph of description.
Ouch. I
Don't
like
hurt
how it went
yourself
from
now,
saved
please.
to included.
Hmm.
They're like, you know what? Probably not.
In light of recent events, I think you just gotta bump up an object class, buddy.
Yeah, so where do you see that like the
Okay, so read along with me. Do you see where the parentheses start in the first paragraph of description?
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the parentheses, you'll see SCP-884 Original Collection.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I clicked it. So there's the bag, the razor, the shaving cup and
Mm-hmm.
brush, the shaving mirror, the scissors, the comb, and the tweezers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Oh shit! The comb is considered thaumiel? Oh, that's interesting.
Why? What did the comb do?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Should we
Okay,
like
so
do you want to read one and then I'll read one and you read one? Is that how we're doing this?
Sure, we could do that.
I like how the shaving mirror is just like, it's just a mirror.
It's just a fucking mirror, dude. Calm down. Not everything has to be anomalous here. Yes, it does. That's literally the whole point of the Foundation.
Oh, we have to go to it for the complete information? Okay, so to get the mirror, we have to go back to SE, like the other farm, so...
Mm-hmm.
To,
I
okay.
think we could just go ahead and read the objects off first as like flavor text, and then we could go ahead and read the document proper. Does that sound
Yeah.
fair?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right, I'll start off. Information on the remaining lost pieces of SCP-884 is fairly sketchy in many places. Due to the civil war in the Foundation that resulted in the formation of the Chaos Insurgency, many of the original documents and pieces were lost. However, some data has been recovered, collected, and observed in the intervening time about the additional units which were originally included in the collected SCP. This information is open for the free review of any people assigned to 884's containment. However, this information should not be shared with people who are not members of the containment team. Agent redacted. Okay, so I'd like to go off on a tangent on this real quick. So, to go ahead and explain a little bit more world building, there is another faction, aside from the Foundation and the GOC, that's called the Chaos Insurgency. So, basically, the Chaos Insurgency is like the dark counterpart of the Foundation. They were originally part of the Foundation. I think they were an MTF or something like that. And basically, they didn't agree with the Foundation's goal due to various reasons. It ultimately depends on like the author that's writing them. And they ended up splitting from the Foundation, and they have their own mysterious agenda insofar as collecting anomalies. There is one thing that is common amongst them, though. They hate the Foundation with a passion and will actively attack any and all Foundation personnel wherever they see them. So, just wanted to go ahead and explain that real quick. All right, so we have SCP-884-1, the bag. 884-1 was the leather bag which contained the pieces at recovery. Photographs of the bag show that it seems to be equipped with a zipper, the style of which places its construction at the 1910 to 1912 at the earliest. The 1910 to 1912? Fuck. It was initially regarded as lacking any anomalous qualities of its own. However, after approximately 10 years of analysis on the object, you analyzed a fucking leather bag for 10 years? Come on, guys. Anyway, the actual time frame has been lost entirely. It was noted to have retained its original suppleness and softness. A nice supple bag. The original hypothesis was that the object consisting of 884 were immune to the passage of time was amended when it was discovered that objects placed in 884-1 seemed to be placed in a form of stasis. Tests with fruits and vegetables verified this. 884-1 was lost during the Foundation Civil War when several of the 884 objects were stolen. Testing was in progress at the time of the loss, but data has not been recovered. Original classification, safe. Current location, believed to still be in the possession of the Chaos Insurgency. Recovery is a Class 4 priority. So basically, if you cut a human up and stick its parts in the body bag, they'll never decompose. That's a fun fact for you.
Nice. Okay. That wasn't the first thought that came to my head.
It was for me.
I
Two
was
different
like,
kinds of
dude,
people in the
if you
world,
put
Panda.
food in there, it can last forever.
And human body parts, too, which are arguably food if you're a cannibal.
Alright. Alright, so I'm assuming that I'm going to be reading Razor then.
Yes, you are.
Alright, SCP-884-2, the Razor. With the exception of SCP-884-4 and SCP-884-6, both of which were or are in the Foundation's possession. More information on SCP-884-2 exists with any other object in the collection. SCP-8842 was a straight-edge folding razor with what appeared to be a silver blade and an ivory handle. That sounds really pretty.
That really does.
Okay, I have one thing that I don't like when I read SCPs is every time they repeat its name. SCP-884.
What I like to do, that I kind of picked up from the Vulcan, instead of just saying SCP da 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 da, I just repeat like the object number. Like it
Like
cuts out a little
884.
bit of time. That's just me personally, though.
Makes sense. When opened, then Razor could be drawn through the air, forming a kind of non-scope event. That's how you pronounce it.
Nanoscopic.
Ah, damn it. Okay, originally documented, refunded this event as a cut in the surface of the universe, which comes across as more as a dramatic than strictly necessary, but typical for the documents written at the time. The event itself was not able to be properly studied at the time due to the lack of necessary instruments, but the size was estimated by a analyzing the damage caused by it. So they literally just... Did someone, like, was just, like, swinging around and then accidentally just cut into the universe? Is that how that happened? Like...
That's what it sounds like to me. They were just like, yo, time for a shave, and cut space and time in the process. It happens. I did that shaving earlier yesterday.
Oh, alright. Good to know. We just have that in the existence now. You need it.
You're
Is that
welcome.
where the razor went? You just like happen to find it. You're like, this is a really cool razor. I'm gonna take this home with me. And then you just start shaving. You just start cutting into the universe. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I found it at Dan's pawn shop for like $5. It was a steal, man.
I can understand if it has an ivory handle. That thing would be like worth like a lot. The event created was capable. Wait, I already read this.
No, you didn't.
No? Okay. The event created was capable of slicing through any objects which pass through the space it's occupied, regardless of speed or approach to the event. Tested materials which were severed including steel, iron, lead, wood, gold, diamond, aluminum, and the skin flesh of various living creatures. Ouch. Tests with heavier elements were forbidden following the death of 3 researchers in an event which was, unfortunately, expunged from the original documents.
They tried to cut uranium. They tried to cut uranium. Nuclear explosion happened. They tried to cut uranium.
The event itself degrades over time, becoming duller as the universe heals. This will lead to objects passing through an encountered slight resistance while still being cut. Then a firmer location which does not cut. Then a sensation of thicker air. A correlation was found between the sharpness of the razor and the duration of the event. Original classification... Jesus Christ, I don't know what happened there. Classification.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just had like a slight seizure. It's fine. Anyway. Bye, DC!
You didn't swallow your tongue. Keep on reading.
Include not safe. Current location known to have been in the possession of the Chaos wait, what's happening?
Insurgency. It's fine, Panda. It's fine.
Recently as 1984, according to obtained documents, recovery in a Class 2 priority.
So basically, we have a razor that can cut the universe, but it's been getting dull over time, which is rather interesting. Wonder what you have to do to sharpen that.
Yeah,
back.
I was just gonna say, like, can you sharpen it? Is that a possibility? Like,
That actually gets me wondering. Oh, before I go on, I have a couple things I need to do. Firstly, there you go, Luca. Wham, saying you shave implies you can produce facial hair. Dude, I can produce facial hair. I've grown whole beards before. It's a problem. I'm fairly confident that the last time I shaved, I could have clogged my entire damn bathroom sink. I'm a hairy man. I'm a very hairy man. So I gotta shave all the time. I could use this razor, actually. Not to, like, shave, but, like, to flay my skin off so that way I don't have to worry about growing hair again. Be pretty great. Blood loss, but, that's
yeah, I was gonna say, what if you just cut your throat by accident? Dead in an instant.
I mean, you take that risk every single time you shave, Panda.
I don't shave my throat.
You shave your legs, you could cut an artery doing that.
Okay, fair. But I'm really careful, so it's really rare
Me
if I
too.
cut my skin.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. Like, I don't like cut my skin, but I do get really bad razor burns sometimes.
Oh gosh, I do too.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. All right, so 884-3, the shaving cup and brush. 884-3 was the only paired object, I don't know why they put that in quotation marks, but okay, which required both halves of the object to function. The cup was carved from ivory with a small painting of a horse on the side. The brush was ivory with horsehair bristles. That sounds fucking rustic as hell. I like it. There is no information on the exact means or function of 884-3, and documents originating from the time which reference it make mention of 3 unfortunate instances of it being activated, the last of which left a massive hole in the center of Site 6's containment sector, allowing for the escape of 3 other objects, 2 of which were recovered by the information deleted. The document goes on to make note of damaging particles, several related deaths, and incalculable loss of material due to each of these events. There's no information on where these events happened, other than Site 6, which was entirely demolished and reconstructed in 1977, or further information on the activation period or specific effect of 884-3. It is known that at least one of these events required a Class L restructuring, but there is no further information on exactly what that, what exactly that event entailed either. Object, original classification, Keter. Current location. While many documents following the Foundation Civil War make note of the insurgency possibly having possession of 884-3, no definitive proof has been found. Last reference to it before the war makes note that it was placed in deep storage at a redacted location. No further information is available. What the fuck is up with this cup? Oh my lord. I'm scared. This is what? I'm lost. A Class L restructuring? Isn't that the classification for like when almost all of humanity is dead and they have to activate SCP-2000 to repopulate all of Earth?
Yeah. I think so.
What?
All right, so we have a razor that can cut into the gosh dang universe. We have a cup that sounds like it destroys everything. Or, I don't know, it doesn't really explain, does it?
No, it doesn't. And like, of course, with older SCPs, that's like part of the mystery. That's why a lot of the documents are so heavily redacted, is to give that air of mystery about what happened. So yeah, I think it does a good job of that because it leaves me wondering, what the fuck is this cup capable of?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
my god. And then we have a bag that's able to keep everything that it contains fresh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Sachiko, welcome in. How are you? Oh my gosh, are you new to SCP? Oh no, I'm an SCP veteran. I have been reading SCPs for many, 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 many years. It's just my first time doing it on stream though. But welcome in and enjoy your stay.
Indeed.
And if you have any recommendations for SCPs for us to read, by all means, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll go ahead and look them over.
Yeah, we'll definitely pop on over.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't, we're gonna go in order. So.
Exactly. And we will read every single one of them, and we will not stop until we reach 7,999.
This is going to be a lot of episodes. Also, if you guys missed this episode, it will be on Top Out of Darkness YouTube and my YouTube, which is Shiny Trash Panda.
And I will eventually edit it and put it onto my YouTube as well, which has no videos at all, but like 15 subscribers.
Ah, that's nice. I have a few videos with 21, so I don't... Woo! Alright.
Alright.
We're gonna skip the shaving mirror, because that's...
Yeah, I agree. That's just redundant, and that's like the main bulk of the article once we
we'll
get
get
to
over
it.
there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. SCP-8845. The scissors. I swear to God.
Do you want me to read this one since it's long, or...
You know what? Yeah, you go. I'll take a smaller one. I'll take comb.
Okay. 884-5 was the first of the objects to be completely understood by the Foundation. Fucking finally.
Oh.
884-5 was a pair of silver scissors with an etched design, undescribed in existing documents, which were used to open and close things.
Wow.
Initial data noted in personal records. I know, right? Scissors opening and closing? Fucking revolutionary, my lord. Initial data noted that in the personal records of the surviving doctor at the time... I fucked up that sentence. Initial data noted in the personal records of the supervising doctor at the time recorded the basic effect. When pointed at a closed door with the blades closed, the door could be opened by simply opening the blades. It's basically a fucking remote control for doors. When pointed at a door which was open with the blades open, then closing them, the door would close. The effect works on boxes, locks, crates, drawers, and most other objects. That's how I actually broke into Dr. Crow's office and stole his lunch. Bastard. There is no effect on an open object if the blades start closed, and there is no effect on a closed object if the blades start open. The effect functions normally if they're turned to the side, though, and opened at the floor or other object which can't be opened or closed. A quaint, largely useless item.
What if you pointed at a person?
I think we're about to find that out, actually. The full extent of 884-5's effect was not understood until a few weeks later, when it was accidentally used on a living person and opened them.
Woo!
The subject organs, bones, and viscera were, quote, ripped out of their orifices, end quote, and deposited on the ground before their skin turned itself inside out. Closing the pile of body parts resulted in the messy, inefficient, incomplete reassembly of the subject, who sometimes continued to live for minutes after the event. Furthermore, the original testing chamber later became more and more dangerous as the full ramifications of opening and closing the scissors were discovered. Surfaces which were open slowly lost strength, became more brittle, and eventually crumbled. The inverse effect was seen in surfaces which were closed. Some samples still remain, but their studies showed no definitive reason for the cause of the effect. Original classification was originally Euclid, then moved to Keter. Under today's standard, it would probably be listed as safe. Yeah, that's definitely a safe one. I mean, you can lock it in a box and it wouldn't do anything, so... Current location. While originally stolen by the Chaos Insurgency during the Foundation Civil War, this object was known to be in the possession of Marshall, Carter, and Dark as early as the 1940s. Offers to purchase the item have been politely but firmly declined as recently as the 1980s. Recovery is a Class 3 priority. Okay, so, other tangent. World building time. Marshall, Carter, and Dark is a faction in the SCP universe that sells anomalous items to really super rich people.
Yep.
The Foundation's been trying to track them down for ages to go ahead and stop their shenanigans insofar as peddling anomalous wares, but largely have been unsuccessful. And they sell some really primo shit to really super rich people. I think they sold an island at one point in time that was anomalous. I can't quite remember. But
They
anyway,
also sold
wanted
a
to point that
photo of Shy Guy. How they
why
got
did
it,
they do
I
that?
don't remember, but they sold a photo of him, and it really caused a huge issue because, of course, the person unwrapped the photo, opened it up, looked at it, and had someone come knocking in a very brutal way.
That that sounds like an assassination attempt more so than like an item you would want to buy. Good lord.
I don't remember the context of it, but I just remember reading it, and I was like, that poor guy, he doesn't know what he bought, did he? And I don't know what happens to the
Seriously.
photo afterwards.